And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, September 9th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. A Friday morning, and we're glad to have you with us and glad to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. Scott is with us this morning. Scott Jasper, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
You were here with Gary Whitaker, and we talked about Sherry's run and so on the other day, and I'm sure you're going to be talking some about that today, but you are Executive Vice President for Wilson Bank and Trust and been there for a while and done well, enjoying life and all that good stuff, I think.
Oh, yeah. It just keeps rolling right along. So, yeah, I got a big Friday today, getting ready for the run, but as always, the bank leads a show off on Fridays, and so just one of the things that I really wanted to bring up for the bank is, there's people needing jobs out there right now. And so we're having a hiring event Friday, September the 16th, and we're going to do that at our operations building there on Castle Heights, and that's going to be from 8 to 5 o'clock. And
that's next Friday.
That's
right?
next, should be, yep, if I'm looking here, yep, next Friday, September 16th, 8 to 5. Hey, and we're going to do interviews, on-the-spot interviews. And so we did this over in our Rutherford County offices, had a great engagement over there. So we're going to do that here in Wilson County, here in Lebanon. And some people say, well, what's the benefits of coming to work for, Wilson Bank and Trust? It's always about, we've got a great 401k plan. You get paid time off. Great growth opportunities. There's those federal holidays that bankers get to take that we like taking.
I'm aware of that.
And then volunteer hours. And so, and great competitive pay. And one of the things, just talked about volunteer hours is one of those things is Sherry's Run that our folks, some of our folks take part in. So very exciting opportunity for our hiring event next Friday, September the 16th from 8 to 5 at the Operations Building at 105 North Castle Heights Avenue.
You just show up. You don't need to make an appointment.
Don't need to make an appointment. RSVP would be good, but we understand. But here's where you can RSVP to. I'll do tell you that. It's employment@wilsonbank.com. So you can RSVP to employment@wilsonbank.com.
What about banking experience? Are you necessarily looking for that?
No, not necessarily. We've got 24 new hires that are getting ready to come into our orientation program here next week, and I think almost 10 or 12 of them have no banking experience. That's the great thing about banking. We can bring you in and teach you how to do some banking. There's soft skills that are always nice to have, but we can teach you to do some banking.
Well, I guess I've got to ask another question or two here.
Yeah.
I know you have banks all over Middle Tennessee. What is it, 30 or
29?
29.
Yep, 29. We'll be 30.
And in several different adjoining counties. If somebody wants to work where they live, how does that?
Yeah, so some of these events that folks that'll travel from here may travel into Nashville, may travel up to Smithville, and so on. So yeah, if there's an opportunity that you want to work at one of our offices there, it's stop in at one of those offices or RSVP to this employment at wilsonbank.com, or the best way to do it is to go out and visit on the website at wilsonbank.com/careers. There's a listing of all of our job opportunities, and if they're in certain areas that you live in, that's where you find them too.
But here again, if you don't have, especially if you don't have banking experience, you're going to have some orientation. You're going to be taught the Wilson Bank way.
There you go. That's it. That's it. We do that, and so we've had great. Good things have happened with our orientation program that people come in and sit through that, and it's just kind of get to know kind of what the bank does and everything. So it works out really well.
Well, one other thing we might point out, more than once, you've been chosen as an employer
top
of
workplace.
the year.
We did top workplace in 2022. So very that comes from just our employees talking about us and liking where they work, and like I said, why WBT. Those things that we went over there, it's a great place. I'm going on 25 years, so it's been pretty good.
And we you just know a lot of people who started and have worked their way up.
Oh yeah, and that's the great part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's great opportunity and the growth and the things that are going on around in all of our areas make it good. So before I know, because we're short on time this morning, talking about why, and one of those was volunteer opportunities, and so I do want to just take a little minute just to talk about Sherry's Run. We started setting up yesterday, got that knocked out, and so today we'll finish up some things. The big thing about yesterday and today is early pickup. We start that at 11 to 7 tonight. You can come by, pick up your T-shirt, or if you're a runner, you can come pick up your timing chip. The other big thing is just Saturday morning, the run starts at 8 o'clock, and there will be street closures, and so that's one of the big things that we always like to get out is just to talk about that. Those street closures will start happening between 6:30 and 10 o'clock, and so with the help of the Lebanon Police Department and their CERT program, they will help us, monitor the streets and close those down. So, it's usually, like I said, it starts at 8. By 9:30, everything kind of starts to come back to normal. But when you're putting about 2,500 people out on the streets, it's good. And we just want everybody to be safe. And we know sometimes there might be a little delay, but they're good about allowing people to go to and fro when they can. But we just want to protect all of our participants. And so just a great day. I know the weather's not looking really well, but we're saying a little prayer today that might hold off maybe till mid-afternoon so we can get the run in the morning because we're looking for a great event tomorrow.
Scott, good to have you with us this morning. A couple of great things that you've talked about, and we'll just remind everybody, as we always do, it's Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. Thank you so much.
All right, Coleman, good to see you.
Okay, 10 minutes after the hour, you're not going to believe who my guest is this morning, but I'm going to tell you. You won't keep you guessing. I don't know whether you'd recognize him. If you heard his voice, you might if you listen at certain times here. But my guest is John Boyce. John, good. Try that again.
Morning, Coleman.
All right, good morning to you. You are not an early morning person, will you?
I do not quite understand why so many human beings like to be awake at this hour, but I do understand that most of the world is up and moving at this time. But yeah, not normally me.
Well, you are an employee here, and have done a little bit of everything over the years. You actually come in here on Wednesday afternoons when Sue Venata she works 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You have her spot on Wednesday from 12 to 4.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Answer the phone, hand out prizes to people who've won, and that sort of thing, I think.
I do. When Sue came on, a few years back, she didn't want to have to work 5 days a week. So Susie James asked me if, you want to come in, and I'm like, hey, Wednesdays work well for me. And more than anything, Wednesday has become the day that Susie has me do random things around the radio station. So if some trash needs to be taken out or something along those lines, she always leaves me a little checklist, especially here over the last year with all the remodel and everything in the studio. But I love that. I just love being around the radio station and being here as much as I can.
How did you get here? Now, I've known you, but I don't remember when you actually started. And you haven't worked here continuously. You've done so many different things. I can't keep up with you, but tell us when you started.
I was actually, when I was in high school, I was interviewed by the late, great Clyde Harville. And he interviewed me on the radio before a basketball game. And from that moment on, I knew I wanted to do something in radio of some fashion. I just thought, how cool is that? And I just absolutely loved it. So it was around 2008, give or take, when I actually came on in an official sense. And the first thing I ever did was I ran a board for AM broadcast of a Cumberland baseball game. And then I took over the afternoon sports scene, and it's just been kind of here and there since then.
Well, now, I think we need to point out you played basketball at Lebanon High for Randall Hutto.
I love saying this. I'm glad you brought it up. My senior year, my final year, was his final year coaching. And so I tell people he knew that he had coached the greatest player that was ever going to come through Lebanon High. And so he just knew it was time to move on and do other things. So, but yeah, 2003 was the year I graduated. It was his final year as head coach.
What all have you done here? And then we'll get to what you're doing now.
Yeah. Tonight we'll have the Fakes and Hooker scoreboard show. So I've been doing that for quite a while. I did traffic reports for a little while. I've done the obituaries in the morning, done some of the other news things. And I'm kind of the fill-in guy when MJ or Preston need an afternoon or a morning off. They don't ask me to do the morning show. They know better than that. But they'll slide Preston over to the morning show, and I'll take the afternoon show. And as you mentioned, I'll answer the phones and hand out some prizes on Wednesday.
You have done some things with trivia, haven't you? Not here, I guess, but entertaining people in restaurants or places. I
did. When I came to the conclusion that I probably wasn't going to be a full-time coast-to-coast radio DJ, I started. I found this trivia thing, and people were really into it. I played at a few other places. My wife, when we were dating, she went with a group of friends. I ended up going and just thought it was really cool, and it reminded me so much of radio. And that's what I wanted. So I started doing it as the side hustle. That was the bridge before I got the full-time job. And then just through the years, it just continued to grow, and I really, really enjoyed it, and it's kind of become a main focus for me.
Okay, one more thing. We'll go to a break. What are you doing besides what you do here now?
I work for Cumberland University as well, and I've been doing the play-by-play for their men's and women's basketball team. I just finished my 13th season last year. Be going into my 14th season this year. So I absolutely love doing that. Anytime I can stay around basketball, I'm happy, and anytime I can stay around radio, I'm happy. And then I DJ and MC weddings as well. I've been doing that since about 2008 also.
All right. Well, anybody might be interested in that, take note. Write his name down, John Boyce. And you can get his telephone number if you call out here. How's that?
Absolutely.
Let's take a break here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still looking good right now on 24. It's just heavy. 24 westbound. As you come past 840, all that traffic leaving Rutherford County headed towards Nashville. Same goes for I-40 through Mount Juliet. Heavy traffic coming in from Wilson County. Lots of radar out here this morning. More radar than we've seen accidents. Hey, Ripley's is hiring for all 10 attractions. Check them out online. You can even apply online at ripleys.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
At Wilson Bank & Trust, the personal service you've depended on for 35 years is available wherever you are. Open an account today and have access to your personal checking or savings accounts 24/7 when you bank online or use our mobile app. With 21 different kinds of accounts available, our dedicated e-banking team makes opening online easy, safe, and convenient. To get started, visit wilsonbank.com. Wilson Bank & Trust, Middle Tennessee's community bank, member FDIC.
Cumberland University football is back in action September 17th as the Phoenix travel to Pikeville, Kentucky to take on the University of Pikeville. This is Christian Raposi of the Cumberland Sports Network inviting you to join Bob Lee and myself. September 17th, pregame coverage begins at 1:30 leading up to a 2 o'clock kickoff right here on WANT and WCOR. The U-Pike Bears and the Cumberland Phoenix matchup September 17th, 2 o'clock here on WANT and WCOR.
Hi, everybody. Tommy Bryan. Join me, along with Harry Stafford, Bob Lee, and Joe Gardner, as we bring you Lebanon High School football. Brought to you by Bates Ford, Basin Hooker, K. Maynard Insurance, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Kenny Salas, Sports World, and Wilson Bank & Trust. Murfreesboro Siegel comes to Lebanon Friday, September 9th, pregame at 6:30 on WANT and WCOR.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and my thanks to John Boyce for being with us this morning. And John Boyce, jack of all trades, in a sense, but you do a lot, though, that's concerning radio. And one thing you do that we didn't mention earlier, you do commercials occasionally.
I do from time to time. That's doing voiceover work is something that I got into that I really, really enjoy. I always want to do as much of that as possible. But, it's funny. It doesn't matter what is going on as far as the world of technology with internet and streaming and all of that. There's still something just so magical about radio. And, especially local radio, you can walk around and be in like a local restaurant and they got us playing and I'll hear a commercial I've done. And that's never not cool to me. And I don't think it ever won't be cool. So it's fortunate to be able to actually work in traditional radio.
Is there one thing that you have done or do that stands out that you'd rather do than anything else? For example, you've been a disc jockey. There's a certain glamour and whatever to that. I know because I was one for a long time. There's the sports play-by-play, and there's something about that's exciting and engaging, and then of course doing the commercials and all the other stuff. Is there one thing you like better than anything else?
I do really enjoy being an on-air personality for a show like what MJ and Preston do. I do really enjoy that, but I absolutely love doing the play-by-play for the basketball team. I played in high school and college, and so when I sit down and it's a 4-5 hour broadcast because we have back-to-back games, but it goes by really fast, and I love being around the team, around the coaches, and around the process and all of that. And there's just I don't know if I've ever had more fun on air than I do when I'm calling a basketball game. Now it definitely helps when they win. That goes a long way.
Well, I guess it's only natural then that you gravitated to the scoreboard show on Friday night because you didn't start that. It's been going off and on at least for a long time, but it's yours now, right?
It is. I came on with Marv Dobson as the host, and then a few years ago, I'm in my fourth year, I believe now, as the host of the show, and that's a lot of fun as well because we get to sit in this room and we literally have scoreboards in here for people that have never seen any pictures. And then I get to interview all of the coaches in the county. And we've got so many great athletes and great programs in this county right now. And with Lebanon being as good as they are, we get to listen to Tommy and the guys call those games, and they're a lot of fun. And then we get to come on and interview all of them. And for me, it's neat because you kind of get to take a step back and look at the county as a whole. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I have 7 home teams, and I would imagine before too long we'll have 8.
What you start when the Lebanon High game ends after the end of Tommy's broadcast, then it's the Friday night scoreboard with you.
Yes, sir.
And who you got helping you now?
Arkey Grooms. He's my co-host this year, and he's a Lebanon boy as well. He graduated back in 2004. He played football and basketball at Lebanon. Went on to play football at Tennessee Tech, and he works for Dollar General now and lives in Watertown. But he's just an incredible human being, and when my other guy, Trent Perry, had to move on, he wasn't going to be able to be here anymore. Arkey had expressed some interest in it, and he's been great.
How long do you usually go?
It's about 2 hours, unless there's multiple lightning delays like there was last Friday. We went on air at 12:15 last week. The Tommy and them didn't get off till 12:15 due to all the lightning strikes and all that in the area. But normally it's around 9:45, and then we'll go to 11:45.
Now, you graduated from Lebanon High. You played basketball at Lebanon High. You've got to have you need to be objective and not hate Mount Juliet or Wilson.
Right.
Is that hard for you?
It was at first, and then you get a little older, and as any adult, you realize, well, that's all just kind of silly. It's just because they live in have a different address doesn't make them any different than me. But it was, I can definitely remember being at the pep rallies in high school and getting to rip the bear apart and all that. And I loved that stuff. I absolutely loved going to football games on Friday night and being in the crowd and hanging out with my friends. But it was a little bit of an adjustment, but it wasn't too bad.
One of the things there's that old saying about what goes around comes around, and I have seen it happen over the years. It seems to go in cycles. Mount Juliet had been dominant for ever so long in football. Now Lebanon has come to the forefront, and of course, I guess with the additional school down there, that didn't help Mount Juliet any. But but Lebanon really is doing great this year, and you couldn't say that 5 years ago. And Watertown has seen its moments of brilliance. They're not having the best year this year. We'll see how it all turns out. But it does you as Clyde used to say, you win some, you lose some, and some are rained out.
Yeah.
But you've no doubt noticed that in your time.
For sure. And you hit the nail on the head. And, Lebanon last year going 11-2, best record in school history, and making it, going into the playoffs. And for me, it always in this area, you have to start that conversation with Friendship Christian. I think they've been the gold standard as far as success on the football field in this area, and they're having a fantastic year this year also. But I think they kind of sometimes get overlooked because it's a smaller private school, but I mean, they've got multiple championships, and John McNeil there he knows how to run a program. I think he's in his 34th year now, 33rd or 34th year there. So you just got to start with him, but. Chuck Gentry's really got it going right now at Lebanon High. Those guys, they've had a running clock all 3 games this year. They've been beating their opponents so bad that the clock doesn't stop. And they got some guys that are going to be playing. They got quite a few guys going to be playing on Saturday.
How involved are you in the college area? Mainly we're talking about what you do and so on, but you have other interests, no doubt. You pay a little attention probably to college football.
I do. I'm not as interested or as big as a fan of college football. And honestly, that's only because for so many years now, I'm at weddings on Saturdays.
Oh.
So through the years, like the last 10 years, I just haven't been watching near as much. But I'm a big Vanderbilt fan. So right now I'm really happy because we've scored over 100 points in our first 2 games. And that's something my father instilled in me years ago. I'll never forget when Vandy beat UT for the first time in my lifetime. He went and bought 6 copies of the Tennessean and would keep it on the dash of his car until the sun faded the ink, and then he'd switch it out and put the other one in there. So he kept that on the dash of his car for about 2 solid months. The front page of Vandy beating UT.
Do you remember what year that was?
I was already out of high school, so it would have been it was the Jay Cutler years. It was during his era. And so it would have been maybe
05 or somewhere.
Yeah, 05, 06, somewhere right around in there.
Well, then once James Franklin got to Vanderbilt, they won several times.
He proved that you can do it there.
And I don't know what I think that game tomorrow with Wake Forest is a big game.
It is a big game, and I always think that those 2 schools are so similar as far as the standards, academic standards, and sometimes when you have high academic standards, your athletics suffer a little bit from that. But so it's always interesting to me when those 2 type of schools get together.
Yeah, and of course our UT friends, we still call them friends.
They're still friends, maybe not on Saturday.
They're very concerned about the game with Pittsburgh tomorrow. They're playing in Pittsburgh, I believe, in Pennsylvania, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen there. But then after that, they take on Florida, and that always perks up MJ when you mention the Gators.
Yeah,
and they could be 4-0, they could be 3-1, they could be 2-2. We don't know.
Yeah, it's always fun when they play Florida. I always love. I like Florida as well, and so it's always fun just to be able to poke at friends and stuff like that. And there's not a lot of Florida fans around here.
Well, what's your next 5 years? You got a game plan?
Does anybody have a game plan? I don't know if I have a game plan. I'm taking it as it comes and trying to do my best with it. And one thing that I know is I love. Working in radio as much as possible and being self-employed. Working for myself is one of the most important things to me, and be able to call my own shots. And working for somebody like Susie and WANT, she allows that to happen and gives me experience I need that I can apply in other places. And so that's why I like being here, and that's why I'm okay being the receptionist on Wednesday.
Well, I thank her a lot for reminding me to have you on, and we got to tell the people this. I text you and told you that Susie had suggested you as a guest, and your first response was, you didn't really give me an answer. You said, you don't know how non-interesting I am at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I sent back and said, it's my job to make it interesting. I consider it challenge, yes or no. So you said yes.
Well, Coleman, man, you've been doing this for so long, and you know, anytime someone finds out I work here, one of the first things they say is like, "Do you know Coleman?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know Coleman. Yeah, I know him." And I was fortunate enough to be at your induction in the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame last year or 2 years ago, and so that was a really, really cool moment for me because I was there with a lot of other people from the station and getting to see you up there with all those other people and seeing the history of your career and everything was a really big treat for me.
Well, thank you for saying so. But believe it or not, I've gotten to know you so much more in the 20 minutes you've been sitting here this morning. I met your mother and father over at the Senior Citizen Center.
Yes, sir.
He might have told me he was a Vanderbilt fan. He didn't tell me how much of one he was.
They don't get much bigger than him. Everybody calls him Randy, and his nickname's Vandy Randy. And so then they just bought a new house. They're retired now. They bought a new house, and he's got his own room, and it's nothing but Vanderbilt and Atlanta Braves. And then he loves Michael Jordan as well. So he's not really a basketball fan, but he's a Michael Jordan fan. So he has a bunch of Jordan stuff as well.
Well, what kind of fan are you now?
Vanderbilt fan for sure, Preds fan, Braves fan, but
Lebanon High?
Lebanon High fan, and a big time Cumberland Phoenix fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, all rolled into one.
All rolled into one, absolutely.
All right. Scoreboard tonight after the Lebanon game.
WANT Fakes and Hooker scoreboard show tonight, 9:45, 10 o'clock, whenever the Lebanon High game goes off the air.
You and R.Key Grooms.
R.Key Grooms, and then Jonathan the Jet Thompson, and of course Jeremiah Weiser, all 4 Lebanon graduates.
Okay. Thanks so much for being my guest this
Thank you,
morning.
Coleman.
I appreciate it. That's part 1 of Coleman & Company. Keep it here for more FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a battery installed on most vehicles. $134.95. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It looks like a wreck over here on the west side. 40 eastbound near Briley Parkway. They're pulling it over to the side. 65 on the increase northbound as you come up out of Brentwood all the way up to Harding Place. Traffic's also on the increase I-40 through Wilson County. Lots of radar spotted on the interstate in certain parts of I-40 in Wilson County and Smith County this morning. Ripley's is hiring for all 10 attractions in the Smoky Mountains. Check them out at ripleys.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
A devastating defense that returns 10 of 11 starters.
Sack! Jeffrey Simmons!
The King, Derrick Henry, back on the road to punishing defenders.
Derrick Henry just went 60.
All led by the NFL Head Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, the Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811, call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Register now for Sherry's Run 5K Run Walk to benefit Sherry's Hope. The 5K event is Saturday, September 10th, beginning at 8 a.m. at 623 West Main Street in Lebanon. Register at sherrysrun.org. Come run or walk and show your support for those in our community who are battling cancer. Events include the 5K Run Walk, a silent auction, live music, and more. Register now at sherrysrun.org and don't miss the Sherry's Run 5K on Saturday, September 10th.
A rainy pattern is starting to take shape for later today and will last with us through the weekend. Look for a high of 86 today with showers starting to become possible in the afternoon. So Friday night football could get a little soggy. This weekend brings high around 80 with more rain. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number 1 Ned.
Coleman & Company, welcome to part 2 of Friday morning. And Fridays at this time we feature the CND team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. Medina is here solo today. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Oh, good to see you. Just me and you for the commercial today.
Yeah, just me and you.
And mainly you.
Yeah. So let's see how interesting we can be this morning.
Well, let me tell everybody you're located at 1330 West Main in Lebanon. Y'all been there for a long time.
Oh, over 30 years.
Before you became Exit.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But it's been something good happening there with Mike and Judy, and you came along, and you're great people. You offer great service. Somebody answers that phone 24 hours a day. And I like to say this every week, people you can trust.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's what we like to do is have people to trust us to where whenever they are moving across town or moving to town or moving away from town, that they give us a call because they trust us. They trust that we're going to tell them the truth. We'll tell them what they need to hear, not mostly what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad.
Well, sometimes there's a difference.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And you come up, somebody did, and I'll say it for you first today. Don't make a move without us. That's a good one, too.
Yes. I think I said that during one of our commercials, and Susie looked at me and she said, "That's what you need to say from now on." So it's just hung in there.
Well, you get to work with your mother, Judy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people think y'all are twins. You do look a lot alike.
Sisters. Of course, Judy likes to call me her older sister, which I kind of give them that look of, really? But anyway, I enjoy it.
You have learned a lot from her, no doubt, and she has had years of experience. Well, you've got several years now on your resume.
Yes.
So it makes for a great team.
Oh yeah, we have a good time, and I've always said if you don't like what you're doing, you better go find something that you do, because you're not going to have any fun, and you're not going to enjoy going to work every day. So me and Mom Judy have fun together. She teaches me a lot, and then I teach her a lot as well. And we just enjoy what we do, and we enjoy meeting the people, whether they're moving in or they're moving out or they're moving across town, and going into different people's houses and seeing what they've done to it and what they can do to it, and giving them ideas. That's what me and Mike did before I started working with her as far as real estate. I had my license, but I worked more on the construction side. Mm-hmm. And I would go out and either help him build it from the ground up or a remodel. And so I learned a whole lot under him doing that. And so that has transferred over into the real estate side too. So it's a lot. Judy will look at me whenever somebody says something about a construction or a foundation or something. She'll look at me and say, "Okay, it's your turn." So yeah. And sometimes we still go back to Mike and say, "Hey, can you help us with this one?" And of course, he's right there. So.
You got some listings to talk about?
Yes, I have two I wanted to talk about today. We've got one on Ben Green Road. It's 2418 Ben Green Road, and it's 5.22 acres. And it's a beautiful piece of property. It does have a mobile home on it that has 3 beds and 2 baths, and a 1-car detached. And it's on a slab, the garage is. So give us a call on that one. That one's listed at $299,900. It's out in the county. It's the Tucker's Crossroads school zone. There is no HOA. Like I said, it's a beautiful piece of property. It's a piece of property. If you did not want the mobile home, you could build a home on the 5 acres. And there's new homes across the street. So it's a great piece of property if you want to be out in the country.
It's not in the boondocks, but it is
No,
rural.
that's right. That's right. It's probably closer into town than it used to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a rural piece, that's for sure. And then another one we have coming up that soon is on 109, right after you coming down West Main and you turn right, go to Gallatin, right there, and you pass the Dollar General. Right on the left, we have a piece of property that's going to be coming soon. We're still working up the price and talking with the seller about what they want to ask for it. But it has 2 garages on it, so it's a commercial piece of property, and you can put cars in it. You can put warehouse stuff in it. But that's going to be coming up soon in the next couple of weeks.
So watch for that.
So give us a call on that if you're looking for a commercial piece of property right on the main highway of 109, because you're getting like 22,000 cars a day going through there, if not more now. But yes, that's what we're be listing here in a couple of weeks.
All right, that's good. You got others?
So with what we've got 9 agents in the office now. They're all working hard. We have Diana is a realtor in our office. She's been on the air before with you, and she's got one in Nicholasville. And so give her a call if you're interested in the Nicholasville, Mount Juliet area. She'll be glad to show you that. And we have other agents that's getting listings ready to put on the market. They have a lot of buyers, and we're always looking for more listings. So if you are thinking of putting your house on the market, or you want to know what your house is worth to be put on the market, give us a call. And, right now is September, fall is right around the corner, and then fall break starts. So that's when people come into town to visit family. I know a lot of people here go out of town and they go on vacations. Well, there's people coming in during that fall break to see family, and they might be wanting to move here. And so if they're going to retire at the end of the year, they know that they want to have a house in the works, so they could come here, look at it. So you want to make sure your house is on the market during that time. Plus, and after that you have Thanksgiving, more families coming, and then you have Christmas, and then you have the end of the year, they retire, and they already know where they want to come to. Your house needs to be on the market for them to see it. So start getting it ready.
That's why you don't make a move without you.
That's exactly right. See, you got it in there twice for me today.
Well, that'll do it for today.
That'll do it for today, and we want to thank everybody again for coming out to the fair, to the cabin. We're still recovering and doing having fun at that too. If we didn't have the cabin, we wouldn't have near as much fun as we do.
Well, no doubt, that's true.
Yes, we always have fun there.
Means a lot to you as well to all your friends.
Yes.
And you've got a lot of friends.
Yes, and it amazes me. We can talk about the cabin all year, and we've had the cabin for many years at the fair, and there's still people that come up, oh, I never knew this was here. Let me come back, and it's just another excuse to go get you some food. Come back to the cabin. So anyway, but we thank everybody for coming out.
Medina, thanks for being with us today. You've told us a lot.
Well, thank you, and remember, don't make a move without us.
See you next week. Have a good one. Okay, we're about 20 and a half before the hour, and here on a Friday morning, I want to welcome Dr. Patel, who is my guest today. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you again. It's been a while. I'm several months, I think, since I've seen you and had you on the air.
Yeah.
And I hope it's been a good period of time.
It's been good. We've spent the last, couple of months just kind of ramping up for the flu season that's coming up, and obviously, the new changes that are happening with the new boosters that we came out. So we've kind of just been prepping for those for a couple of months, and doing a few changes at the pharmacy. So just been busy with that, but I'm glad to be back on the show. And,
all right, we're talking about Lebanon Family Pharmacy.
Yes.
That's yours. Where's your location?
So we're located in the Bargain Hunt Complex. So 1311 West Main Street, Suite A as an apple. So it's not towards the Papa John's, but the other end of that complex. And, we're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., and we're open on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we now have an amazing website that you can find out more about us or book an appointment. It's www.lebanonfamilypharmacy.com.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about you. I probably asked you to do this when you were here the last time, but people like to know a little bit about somebody that is here that we're talking to, and maybe some of your background and how you came to be doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. So I'm Dr. Patel. I actually was born in India, and then I was in third grade when we moved to Africa, and then I moved here in the United States when I was in high school. So I was in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. I went to Pigeon Forge High School. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
And then after that, I moved to Nashville for a while for work after I graduated from UT Knoxville with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and cellular molecular biology. And after that, I got married to my wonderful husband, moved to California for, a year and a half, and then moved to Chicago for my pharmacy school. And then Nashville still had my heart. I still wanted to move back to Tennessee, and luckily my husband found a job here. So this was perfect. We wanted to start a family. So I was like, this is a perfect place to, raise a child. So we moved here, and I've kind of been frequenting like Mount Juliet, Lebanon, the areas around here, trying to see like where do I fit in, and how does my personal growth apply to like the community that I'm living in or I'm working in. And I feel like the more I started hanging out with the Lebanon people, and the more I found out about the Lebanon community, it just kind of felt like this was home to me. It fit my personal ethics and morals more than any other city or town did. So
well, what all do you do? What all is available for your constituents, your customers, your patients, or however we're going to call it, at Lebanon Family Pharmacy?
So we actually do have a lot of services that we offer for free at the pharmacy. So obviously we're not a nonprofit, but we do still provide as many free services as we can for the community, because I believe that patient care and caring for the community for me comes as my top priority. I want to make sure that every single person that comes to our pharmacy gets that personal attention. So we offer like a lot of free services. The biggest thing right now is the pill pack services that we've actually had really good feedback from our patients. So people that are taking multiple medications several times a day, what we do is we pack it in a little pill pack for them. So all they have to do is every month they get big packs from us, and they just pop the pills out and take it as written on the pack. So they don't have to remember to open like 15 bottles and take a pill out of every single bottle. So it's just all combined in one pack. And then their doctor's offices called us and they're like, what did you guys do? Because their labs are like really nice now. They, are within levels. And I'm like, well, all we did was just pill packed for them. So that little change that we made for our patients has impacted their health really in a really great way.
And this is a free service?
It is a free service. Yeah, we do not charge for it for pill packing. It does take out, time from us and our workflow, but that's just something that we know that the community needs, and so we provide it for free.
But and you almost don't have to think when you take your
medication. You just look at the day and look at the time. If it says with breakfast or after breakfast, you just pop it and then take it. That's all you do. And it's like 30, 30 spots in one card. And if you're taking it 3 times a day, you get 3 different cards, and you just, don't even think about it. Yeah.
So that's one of many things you're doing to
absolutely
to enhance your customers' well-being.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then we also offer local free delivery. So if there are people they don't have a ride or can't make it to the pharmacy, because they recently got a surgery done or don't have anybody picking up their medicines for them, we go out there and do free delivery for them. And I also go and vaccinate people in their homes as well. So, and that's for free. We don't charge anything to go out there and vaccinate. If there is a charge associated with a vaccination, we'll let you know ahead of time. And so we do that.
But no charge for you to go to the
No, absolutely not. We do it for free. And then we also have this amazing program that we started right when the pharmacy started, was free multivitamins for all kids in Wilson County. So it comes out of our pocket. We don't get any donations. We don't get any grants or funding for it. It's right out of our pocket. But that's, another thing that I was really focused on, because I have an almost 3-year-old who thinks she's 16, but she, sometimes is hard to feed. And I always worry about if she's getting the proper nutrition or not. And so I was like, okay, if my child is struggling, I don't know how many other parents in our county are probably struggling to make sure that their child gets, a proper nutritious meal. So we decided, well, if our kid, needs multivitamins, I think we're going to offer that, as a service to all the kids here in the county. And I think the schools love that, because, they're all on board and they're like, okay, we like that you're doing something for the kids in the community, because everybody thinks about seniors. Everybody thinks about, general population, but there's not a lot of people that actually think about kids. Yep. So that was our focus. And so because of that, we also started a free program in our pharmacy, and we were the first pharmacy in Tennessee to actually get the approval for this, and it's called VFC, Vaccines for Children program. So usually only the health department and the pediatrician's office were able to offer free vaccines to people that were uninsured or, qualified for TennCare. But as a pharmacy, we can also do it now. So if your kid needs vaccines for school and the health department doesn't have an appointment, or the pediatrician doesn't have an appointment, they can always come to us and we take them walk in. They don't even need an appointment. Yeah.
All right, we've got to take a break right here. Dr. Patel, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, my guest this morning. We got more to say, more to talk about after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:47, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn, Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's really starting to get heavy now on 24 westbound, leaving Rutherford County, headed into Davidson County, pretty much on schedule there up through the Hickory Hollow area. It's crowded at times on 65 South here at Trinity Lane. All that traffic coming down out of Robertson County right now around White House. Looks pretty good at the moment, but lots of radar as you leave Clarksville, Montgomery County, headed towards Nashville. Be careful. Hey, with a huge demand for dental assistants, Dental Staff School says they will train you, help you get a job as a dental assistant. Google Dental Staff School. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Call me. If you're looking for land to build a home, call me.
Call me if you want to put your home on the market.
Call me if you're ready to buy your next home, or if you're a first-time home buyer, call me.
Call me if you would like to know how much your home is worth. Call me, and don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmenthaler at Exit Rocky Top Realty, CNDT 443-3130.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Contact Stephen Lowry Land Clearing for all your land clearing needs. Whether it's clearing trails for ATVs, reclaiming pasture, or clearing your land of brush and trees, Stephen Lowry can get the job done. He works closely with customers, adjusting to make changes as you want. Steve Lowry will give you quality work at a price that you could afford. He will also beat any written estimate. Call Stephen Lowry at 615-970-8154 for all your land clearing needs. That's Stephen Lowry Land Clearing, 615-970-8154.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Dr. Hazel Patel is with us this morning, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, and I was, I guess, to put it mildly, impressed, greatly impressed with what you were telling about, all the things that you do that are extras, I guess, being a customer, being affiliated with Lebanon Family Pharmacy, and You were talking about these children who need the vitamins and maybe are not eating properly, that you have a 3-year-old that you're a little bit concerned about every once in a while. So you've got a lot to offer the people.
Absolutely. And to go along with the same theme for what offerings we have for children, we also do flavoring of prescriptions and over-the-counter medications for free as well. So, a lot of kids don't like the flavors of their medicine, or one day they're like, I want grape, and the other day they're like, I want bubble gum. So, and they won't take their medicine because, of the flavor, or they're just sick and wanting to throw a tantrum about it. So, having a little kid, I understand that as well. So we offer that as a free service for all our kids here as well. And we also do free notary for our patients as well. We've got a few people that came in and they're like, well, I'm in a, lurch and I need to get this out today. And I was like, well, yeah, sure. So we've done that, for our patients. We offer that as a free service because a lot of people don't realize that these little things like this matter to people. And, it's just, a lot of people have a lot of issues where they're in a fix all the time. And I'm like, well, if we can offer one little thing that's going to offer some relief to our patients, we want to treat them like they're our family, not like they're customers. We want to make sure that if we're taking really well care of our family, we do the same for our patients as well.
When did you open the doors of your
July or June 1st of 2021 is when we opened. So
you've been a year and a quarter, less than a year and a half.
Bit, yeah. And I feel like still a lot of people don't know about the free services we offer. And so that's why we want to make sure that the community knows that even if they don't know that if we offer a service or not, they can always call us and ask us about it, and we'll let them know if we, do that for them or not. So
I don't know how many people pay attention to a phone number that's given on the radio, but I want to give yours out here.
Sure.
I'm sure it's 615
547
547
9556.
9596.
9556.
Oh, 955. Okay. 9556. 615-547-9556.
Yes.
And you'll be interested in anybody calling, answering their questions, help them to know more about you and what you offer, and help them in any way you can, no doubt.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people, like, that are on regular medications for diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, they don't realize that over time, some of those medications can cause nutrition depletion. So to go along with our multivitamin program with kids, we wanted to do something for the seniors or for the people that are taking these medication classes is offer free nutrition depletion assessment. So what you can do is you can come and set up an appointment with us. We'll fill out a little form saying how many medications or what medications you take. And from that form, I tell you that, okay, these are the vitamins that you are probably going to be depleted over time, and this is what you need to add to your daily routine. So it's more personalized based on what the person is taking and what their diet looks like, what their daily routine looks like. So we do that for free as well at the pharmacy, and a lot of people don't know about that program as well.
That's good to know too. And the thing about it, sometimes, as you just pointed out, medications have their purpose, but sometimes there's some side effects or some causes because of maybe the intensity of what you're taking here that you need to compensate for that. So that's really what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, sometimes it's a never-ending cycle. Once you're started on a medication, you could have a side effect from that medication, and then the doctor will put you on another medication to take care of that side effect. So it's just kind of like a cycle that keeps going around, and we want to break that cycle. We want to make sure that, we take care of you in the initial stage before even the medication is started or you get a side effect from the medication. So we being a pharmacist, you're supposed to sell drugs or prescriptions, but I want to make sure that I take care of the person before they even get put on medications.
Yeah, if you can take some vitamins or food supplements rather than another prescription, probably, I'm guessing, you'd probably save a little money, first of all, but I would think it's to your better health to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We do have a lot of herbal supplements at the pharmacy as well that we do recommend to people. And we have had some people come back and say that I'm so glad that I did this with you before I even hit that mark where I was going to be considered a diabetic patient. So they came as pre-diabetic in their labs, and then they started the herbal supplements beforehand, before they would even hit the diabetes cutoff mark for their A1C. And they come back and say this is amazing that I started this early on. So, hearing that feedback from my patient, it just, warms my heart. And I feel like I'm making a change that I set out to make.
Well, you no doubt have, you've studied, you're a pharmacist, you know a lot about that, but it sounds like you have studied other things to know a lot about the body and what's going to do what's going to be good for something, what's going to cause some problems even.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like taking care of the person before the medications start. So I feel like the medications is like the last point of therapy or treatment. I would say before even medications, there's other things that you can do. And at the pharmacy, like I said, we have herbal supplements, we have multivitamins that we recommend. Also, the good thing about the pharmacy is if you come in, you can also check out a lot of local products. So we do a lot of made in Lebanon, made in Nashville, made in Tennessee, made in the United States products. So we try to keep it local. We're a small business. If this community is helping us as a small business, we want to help all the vendors that are local. We want to make sure that we also support the small businesses here in the city, the county, and the state as well.
Well, again, you've been in business a little over a year. We're going to say a year and a quarter. That's close. What'd you say, June of last year?
Yes.
Yeah. You fairly well pleased with the start that you've received here and the clientele you've developed in this year and a quarter?
Yes, absolutely. There's so many people that have became our patients, and now they're basically like family. They'll come and, just chat away for like 15, 20 minutes, and we don't even know when the time passed by. And, building those relationships is kind of what is very important for me.
Now, your location again, it's West Main.
West Main, it's 1311 West Main Street.
1311 West Main here in Lebanon.
Mhm.
The phone number is 615-547-9556.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the important stuff we can give out here.
Yes.
But do you have a website?
Yes, our website is www.lebanonfamilypharmacy.com, and that is what you'll use to basically book your appointments for the vaccinations. And a new update with that is that we have the new bivalent vaccinations boosters available for Moderna and Pfizer. That includes 50% of the original strain, and the other is the Omicron variant, the BA4 and BA5. So we do have those in stock, and we have opened up appointment spots, for people that want to come and do those vaccinations. We actually started that on Friday last week, right before Labor Day weekend. And we also offer the flu shot for the season along with those. So you can get both of those in the same day, same visit, and the same arm if you choose to, as long as they're 1 inch apart. The side effects from the vaccinations is basically the same as you would expect with the other vaccinations that you've already received. So there's nothing new like side effect wise, but the new formulation for the boosters is, something that I would like to let people know, that it's not like just a regular booster. It is actually a new formulation that includes the Omicron variant in it.
Okay, we got about 30 seconds left here this morning, but you welcome phone calls, no doubt, but probably the best is to go to your website. And again, www.lebanonfamilypharmacy.com. And you've surely got a wealth of information there. And probably that's where most people start.
Absolutely. That is correct. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me, Coleman. And I really, really appreciate talking to you. It's always good seeing you.
Well, thank you. It's good to have you, and have a nice weekend, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
All right, that's going to do it for a Friday, and I do wish you all a wonderful weekend, and until Monday, a fantastic day.